I can see and hear you well on YouTube. Great. Hi, Linda. Let's all take a big breath. So yes, I'm Ada. This is Nathan. We are Wakes. And we're here this evening gathered in support of our friend Ken Donnell. He goes by KD. And he is the person that made our guitar, which we will show you eventually. Hi, Mel. It's so nice. I can see you on YouTube, and it's working, so that's a relief.
Sorry, you won't be able to see for a minute.
Except for now I can't see because Nathan's doing something else. But I was going to ask you how your day is going, is what I was going to do. But now I can't see your responses. So, I just wanted to say that we're so grateful that you're here. I'll probably repeat this a few times, but we really fortuitously met Katie a number of years ago, actually really intertwined with our starting to play music more publicly and to share it and to have this be our work in the world. And there's a marvelous story that I can't wait to share with you around how we received this guitar and kind of all of the, fateful meetings and magic that happened around it. Katie just, he lives in Greenville, California. Greenville was recently just leveled by the Dixie Fire that is, I think it's the second largest fire in California history now, probably approaching the biggest fire, and it's still causing a lot of destruction. It's just this drought that we're having and climate change, and a lot of factors are contributing to it just being so destructive. And his whole beautiful town that we were able to visit, most of it burned, and that included his business, which is called Donnells MusicLand, and it was a workshop where he actually made instruments, and he also made these microphone systems that we'll share with you about and that we use in our instruments. And so that was on Main Street. It was a really charming old town with like a gold rush town. And so he's right on Main Street and had like a ton of instruments and everything, and then had a workshop in the back. And then also his home also burned down, and he had this beautiful plot of land with huge gardens and so much, so much that he had cultivated there in his beautiful space. And it's really jarring to think about the fact that that's all gone, and he really got out of that situation without anything, basically his pickup truck, because he couldn't go back. And so, did we get things worked out?
We did.
Okay, great. And I can see things again.
Yes.
So let's see.
We're here.
I love it. Jennifer says, let's breathe in and breathe out. Smiles. That's so nice, Jennifer. Thank you. And what do we have? Okay.
Yay,
Facebook.
much
Yay,
better.
Sound is crystal clear. Good.
Good. Sorry for those of you on Facebook. That was a bit of a to-do. Let's start with a little song just to give people.
Look. Oh, wait, but let's just say hi. Hello, Karen and Adrian, Gabrielle, and Joan. Oh, Joan headed over to YouTube. She was like, getting over to YouTube.
That's awesome.
This is a very laid-back session, little house concert. We're here to create some beautiful songs, to share some stories, and to really hopefully lift each other up in this moment when people are facing so much, from everything going on in Afghanistan to Haiti to the fires up and down the coast, Canada, the US. And in this circumstance, it's really personal, a real human, a real person that we know that lost so much. And so with all these problems in the world, it's so overwhelming sometimes. But we thought that this was something that we could do that really supports a real human being that's facing a huge challenge. It's hard to even comprehend losing everything. So we're really glad you're here. It's just a chill evening. We got our text sorted out. We see Daniela in the house and Fab. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Well, he's a key part of the story. Oh, so great. Okay. You ready? Let's kick it off.
How was I to know this was always only just a little game to you? All this time I thought you gave your heart and thought that I could do the same for you. Tell the truth, I think I should have seen it coming from a mile away when the words you say are, baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall in love. If I gave a thought to fascination, I would know it wasn't right to care. Logic doesn't seem to mind that I am fascinated by your love affair. Still, my heart would benefit from a little tenderness from time to time, but never mind. 'Cause baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall in love. Day la dum day la dum day la 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 do 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 day la da la day la da 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 do. Baby, I should hold on just a moment to be sure it's not for vanity. Look me in the eyes and tell me love is never based upon insanity. Even while my heart is beating, hurry up, the moment's fleeting. Kiss me now, don't ask me how. 'Cause baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall. And baby, I'm a fool who thinks it's cool to fall. And I would never tell if you became a fool and fell in love.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, just wanting to check in. How are we doing technically? Let us help you, Mom.
Come here.
Bring your phone. My mom is having a hard time with the technical side. She wants to hear too. She can hear here, but
Oh, so great to see all of you here. Thank you for joining us. For those of you just tuning in, this is, thank you. This is a benefit concert for our friend KD, who lost his house in the recent fire.
will you help
What's
with
up?
that?
Yeah, just had to turn up the volume, that's all.
Just a volume thing.
Yeah.
Is it the old Facebook link?
Yeah, maybe you're at the old Facebook link. Oh, yeah, you're just at the old Facebook link. Here, we'll have to get you on the new one. Yeah, so...
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, Mom.
So many technical things. Hi, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, and so...
Go to YouTube, Mom.
Yeah. It's been a humbling experience for us this year to be so close to fires right here in our backyard, like literally in our backyard. And we, for the first time, really in our lives, had to contend with that that real, like, visceral decision of what do we take with us if our house isn't here in the morning. What's the most important thing? And I have to say that it was a very humbling experience, to say the least. To just be at that point and also clarifying to see what is it that really matters, like what are the things that really, when it comes down to it, what do I really care about, and what am I going to not be able to live without? And there was actually very few things that you know, between 3 cars, we didn't even fill. You know, we had 3 cars, luckily, so we had room to put things, but it was kind of amazing how unfull they were.
We were not prepared, though. So it was like putting photo albums in suitcases and grabbing like framed photos that felt really important and journals, things like that, things that mean so much to our history and who we are. Anyway, that happened to us. We evacuated at 2 a.m. When we did. And so when we got news that Ken Donnell, the creator of this guitar, the creator and inventor of a lot of things when it comes to music, when we heard that his home burned down and his business burned down and he lost everything, that really struck us even more deeply, I think, because we had just come out of the stress of that experience for ourselves. So we're here tonight to gather, to say that community and love and support matters, and that's what we can rely upon. That's what makes a meaningful life. And Katie's really shown that in the way that he's reached out and asked for help. This is one way that we can help, to share music, to share the story of this guitar and friendship and songs. And so even with our technical bobbles aside, we're so glad to be here with you. We hope that you can get some music. We're going to give them music. Water.
A drink.
A drink if you want. Have your dinner with you.
Thank you, Linda, for your donation to KD.
You should find a link where you can donate to his GoFundMe at the top of these streams.
This is a love song that I wrote for Ada. It should speak for itself.
The first song you ever wrote me.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could say that I wrote this for Ada on her birthday, and I was all worked up about it, tried to write it in the third person just so that it didn't sound too clingy, because I was really into her. And then she shows up to my house, and I've been working on this thing forever just to get it just right. And she's written me a song as well.
Ta-da.
And she wrote it in 10 minutes before she came, and it's totally better than my song.
No, I didn't write it in 10 minutes. I wrote it in an hour, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, so annoying. So you'll hear my song, and then you'll hear the one she wrote for me.
Oh, thank you, Adrian, for sharing that link on the new Facebook Live.
A car horn blows in a cold, dark night. Scares a cat half out of her mind. Triggering motion lights she hides, illuminating a scene behind. Steamy windows with new friends inside. His knee bumps into the horn in time, with their beating hearts as they kiss to find. Time loses its hold when their arms entwine. The lights, they streak yellow, blue, and white, dance a jig across the river's back so wide. Warms her hands on the bridge so quiet, both dressed for cocktails and feeling light. It's like this friendship began in another life, so they'll pick back up, do their best to try not to think too much where it goes this time. 'Cause time loses its hold when their arms entwine. They spend lost sheets wrap and cling, can't escape these silly things. Leave behind, lose hold of time, forget the old mind and fall into arms that hold just this moment. 'Cause time loses its hold when their arms entwine. It was love, it was love, it was love, it was love, it was love.
I'm taking these little puppies out.
Yeah, do it.
It's still a learning curve on having these little in-ear monitors where you hear yourself.
Yeah, so something that is an amazing part of the story of Ken Donnell and how we met him in the first place and how we became friends was that he is actually the creator, the builder, the luthier of this guitar.
It says in there, it says Ken Donnell, 1982, luthier
1982.
for Gary Cooper.
For Gary Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very beautiful. I have this silly capo on there, which is definitely ruining the look of that nice perloid inlay. And part of the story was we didn't know anything about Ken until we got the guitar. And we looked inside, and it said a name on there. So many steps before
Oh, yeah, we got to
this, before
rewind.
finding out that it was made by him and that he was, and finding him, it was just this magical sequence of events, of circumstances, of happenstances that led to us meeting him. And basically, the kind of short version is because there were so many things, just too many things that all led into it that like just made it feel like such a yes from life. As we were stepping out on the road, we were on our first big tour down the West Coast.
Well, we had been working together doing video work.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to go all the way.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to
Okay,
go all the way back,
great.
but I'm just going to say that we had started working together and we had this big moment of deciding to pursue music, even in the
Yes.
face of building this other business and having done this huge adventure around the world. And we built something really beautiful, but then we had this little feeling in our hearts around music and around sound healing and around the power of music. And we did this little retreat with each other. Have a sip. And we decided that we felt like we should do it in some capacity. And then we had been collecting all these instruments and we didn't have a vehicle big enough to take the stuff around. So we bought this van and then we get into this whole van life thing. And then we're on our first tour. We schedule a tour down the West Coast. We live in Washington State. We schedule this tour and all these beautiful encounters happened along the way.
As they always do on tour.
As
It's a
they
magical
do.
experience.
But we're in the Bay Area, and we had met in our previous work a man named Nipun who does a lot of work around gift economy, and he'd opened up this beautiful new
Meditation
meditation space in Marin. And anyway,
We played a little music
We
there.
played some
it was
music
beautiful.
there.
Such a wonderful circle of people that gather regularly in that space. It was such a delight to step into such a robust community of meditators.
yeah, but it
And
was the
we-
inaugural
opening.
music and meditation in that space. And then afterwards, there was a meal, and then we hung out, and we met this man, and he was introduced to us. I hope he's still here.
saw
Fab was
Fab.
introduced to us as a luthier, and I feel kind of silly. I didn't know what a luthier even was at that moment in time, but we came to learn It's someone that makes lutes or stringed instruments, such as the guitar and other things. And Fab was this, wow, just mind-blowing.
The most beautiful instruments I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, we were just like starstruck by his guitars and how beautiful they were.
Yeah, you got to show us a beautiful banjo that he had made and a guitar that,
exquisite.
Yeah, you got to play him too.
And we got to play him, we shared some songs, and then Fab like pauses and he says, just hold on a moment. And he leaves and he comes back and he brings this guitar. And it's a handmade guitar as well. And he starts telling us about it, like the features and the qualities that make it handmade and how that's special. And then he says, would you like to have it? And we were like, what? And he said, yeah, I really think I was given this, there's more to it, but I was given this guitar to find a home for it, and I feel like I found a home for it in you. And there's some beautiful connections to that because of some of the songs we sang and how they linked to the previous owner that Fab received it from. And so it was passed along to us. We'll continue with the story after this song. Stay tuned. So the guitar was gifted to us. It was our very first tour, and it felt like a real wink and a nod from life that said, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. You'll be supported. So we're going to take votes after the song is done. That was the love song that you just heard that Nathan wrote. And I'm going to share with you the love song that I wrote for him. Didn't know he was writing me a song, so we both arrive, and we have songs for each other. And mine's a little bit different. Here we go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
When we met, we weren't strangers, but not really friends. Maybe you could say you were a friend of a friend, and then I let you in. I think you read my diary. I think you crawled in my brain. Maybe you've been peeping through my window panes. Oh, what else could explain how we think so much the same? 'Cause with you time disappears. Seems like we've known each other years. So you please come near to me, drink a beer with me. I was careful you were younger, but you had a high EQ. So when you kissed me in the car, what was I to do? 'Cause I knew that you were true. We've really logged the hours. The texting's been for shame. I bet you're really glad you made it to that football game. It's kinda insane, our depth in this short time frame. 'Cause with you time disappears. Seems like we've known each other years. So you please come near to me, keep me company. 'Cause I'm grateful for no expectations, the freedom that you give. 'Cause with this sort of sweet sensation, my heart needs space to live. Come meet me in this present station of life we're living in, and kiss me till the morning sun rises again. 'Cause with you time disappears. Seems like we've known each other years. So you please come near to me, have no fear with me. 'Cause with you time disappears. Seems like we've known each other years. So you please come near to me, know you're so dear to me. you're so dear to me. Ding.
Well played, my love.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
We'll take your votes now.
yeah, which
Which song was better? Nathan's or mine?
How does this better?
No.
Yeah, so we had gotten this guitar, and it come to find out, you know, one of the things that brought Fab to leave and go and get this guitar that he'd been given and think to even give it to us was because we had both played songs that were about our fathers. Mine about my parents' separation that happened later in my life, and Ada about losing her father, and we come to learn that the man that he had gotten this guitar from, the man that had given him this guitar and said, "Go find a home for this, someone who deserves this guitar, who could use it, because I'm not using it anymore." And the reason he even had it to begin with, this beautiful handmade guitar, was because he had been given it by a dear friend of his, probably in the early 80s, sometime, maybe in the mid to late 80s. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember the timeline. But because he had really wanted to write a song for his father, and
It was nearing the end of his life, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he was getting much older, and I think he had some things that he wanted to say. And this man is a very incredible writer, very influential writer, actually. He's his name is Gary Zukov, and he's been on Oprah many times. He wrote a very seminal book in the spiritual world called of our modern day called The Seed of the Soul. You may be familiar with it, but he wrote this song for his father, an incredible song that he shared with us later on, a recording that he had of it.
Wow.
And then didn't have use for the guitar anymore, and so it sat
in a shed.
Yeah, for a while until
it fulfilled its purpose.
Yeah.
By him writing this song, and then he meets Fab. Well, him and Fab had met in India, and then they he gives it to Fab because Fab's a luthier and really, treasures what it takes to make an instrument from scratch. And then it came to our hands, and we were just blown away by that because, of course, we'd heard of Gary Zukov, and anyway, we end up getting put in touch with them, and they happened to live right on our route home. And so we ended up meeting them as we drove home, and it was so incredible because Katie made this guitar for Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper lived in Mount Shasta, where Gary Zukov lived for a long time. And so the only other owner was Gary Zukov before it then came to us. And now we've been sharing music on it ever since. But yeah, you can tell this was a very magical thing for us to then meet these beautiful, welcoming, older spiritual teachers that were so encouraging of what we were doing. And we came in and we shared music, and yeah, it was really, really beautiful. We actually looked because we tried to figure out, where is this Ken Donnell? And on that first tour, we looked, and he seemed like he lived really far out of the way. We were able to find some information about him and his music shop, MusicLand, and then, it's funny because we were just sort of oh, well, I don't think we can go there. It's pretty far off the track. So we ended up meeting Gary Zukov on that first tour. I'll share a quote from him in a moment, but that's part one. We got the guitar. We haven't met Katie, but we meet Gary and Linda, his beautiful wife. They teach us about many things.
Sorry for those of you just joining. You're just going to have to take the story as it comes, because it's a long one. We're going to try and play some songs in between. I thought love was only true in fairy tales. Probably know this one.
meant for someone else, but not for me. Love was out to get me. Do-do-do-do, that's the way it seemed. Do-do-do-do, disappointment haunted all my dreams. Face.
We forgot it.
Oh, yeah, we did. Here, let's wait.
Let's turn it around again.
Then I saw her face.
Now
I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a giving thing. It seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? Do-do-do-do, all you get is pain. Do-do-do-do, when I needed sunshine, I got rain. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried. Do da do da do do da do day. Dweep ba ba da da. Dweep ba ba da da da. Da do da do do da do day. Da do 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 da do day. Squeep ba ba da da. Gree da do da do da do da do ba 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 ba. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I will believe her. Oh, I believe her. I'm a believer. I believe her. I'm a believer.
Yo!
We just like to imagine that there's wild clapping
Yeah,
between.
we hear you out there. Oh my goodness. Well, you can let us know that you're still out there by saying something in the chat. Let's check in with it. We've got Lisa saying, great story. Those connections are so fun to witness.
Oh, that's one of Kira's favorites. That's awesome.
What one? Oh, really? Yes, Kier. Good taste. That's our little jazzy take on the Monkees.
Oh, hi, Lori.
Oh, hi, Lori. You found the chat. Many of us are catching up with how to do this technology stuff. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Fab is adding to the story. I wish,
Yes.
Fab, we've always wanted to learn this song and play it in your honor, because this is a song that Fab would play.
I think he gave us the chords,
Scott
actually. I
Cook.
just need to pull them up and learn it.
I know, and yeah, I feel like what he's saying, Fab, here on the Facebook chat, so we'll pass it on to YouTube, is that there's this song from Scott Cook called Pass It Along that Fab does a beautiful version of, and that really inspired him to continue that process of giving, that passing along of what we have to give. That could be a guitar. In this circumstance, we're here together because Katie needs our support, and it's one way that we can pass it along, the fortune that we have. That could be $5, you know, where maybe you skip your next coffee.
Yeah.
But it means so much, and energetically it means so much when we can give to people that really need it. So if you have just joined us, there should be a link in the chat to Katie's GoFundMe. Again, he lost his home and his business and all of his way to make money, even though he's already been given a job by his county newspaper, because he was doing so much to organize for people around the fire, which he actually did even before. I'm trying to remember the name of that devastating fire that happened kind of in the same area. It was a couple years before, and he created this whole village of generosity. And so I really feel like this is a chance for us to keep that going, to pass it along back to him. I had looked at the beginning where he was at in his goal. Let's just take a peek. Okay, so where is he at? And I know people from our community. Oh, it's already $100 more than
That's awesome.
than when we started. That's amazing. And I know that people have been giving through our email list community. People have been telling us, thank you, Lori and Linda, Melissa, Adrian. I know a lot of these anonymous people are from our Wakes community too. So it just blows my mind. And I know you don't personally know KD, but yeah, Paradise, yes, the Paradise Fire, Lenore. That was the fire that he did so much organizing around. And I just want to read this quote. No, we'll do this song first. Clapping. Mary from Pybus says hi. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Love that play on the monkeys. Just checking in with everybody. Yeah, the Paradise Fires. He set up a whole village to support people that lost a lot in that fire. And then now this has happened, and I feel like it's our chance to give back to him. 100%, says Mel. Yes. So we'll tell you more about how the story continues, but please listen to Fab's totally inspired song, Pass It Along, once this concert is done.
And this next song just kind of like extends that conversation into what it is that's ours and what is not ours, and how interconnected we are, and how often we get kind of caught up on the things that are in our immediate lives, and we think that they're ours, and they define who we are, and that we oftentimes get stuck on them and think we need them to continue going, and yet the interdependence that brings us all into contact, that is really the joy of living, is independence, not being islands unto ourselves.
Interdependence.
Yes, thank you. Interdependence. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. It's
it
the
is.
Opposite meaning. Yes. So anyway, and this song actually, for some reason, just, I don't know if it's the feel of it or something, always reminded me of Fab and the way he played that Scott Cook song for us. Here it is. The food you need is not yours. It grows free in the sun, air, and soil. Growing comes not from hands that sow, but from the land and from a will unknown. The water you thirst for is not yours. It flows freely from mountain to shore. The oceans embrace it, you cannot contain it. It falls on both rich and poor. And we ask a lot of this place, of these bodies and brains. But when the thoughts finally cease, what remains? And we make a lot of mistakes, and we bend and we break, till there's no one left to erase. Feelings you feel are not yours. Unbidden they rise and they soar. See and receive them, for the messages teach us how to live and grow. The thoughts that you have are not yours. They're stories that take us back and forward.
They echo within us till we can't tell the difference between the truth and the story. And we ask a lot of this place, of these bodies and brains. But when the thoughts finally cease, what remains? And we make a lot of mistakes, and we bend and we break, till there's no one left to erase. The wisdom you have is not yours. It's spread upon the earth and it's stored in every cell in exchange, in the rocks and the wind and the rain. The work that you do is not yours. The toil, the troubles, the chores. May effort come easy, turn your doing to being. Let play be what opens the doors. And we ask a lot of this place, of these bodies and brains. But when the thoughts finally cease, what remains? And we make a lot of mistakes, and we bend and we break, till there's no one left to erase. And we ask a lot of this place, of these bodies and brains. When the thoughts finally cease, what remains? And we make a lot of mistakes, and we bend and we break, till there's no one left to erase.
Thank you, everyone, for being here with us.
Yeah,
for
thank you for being here.
enjoying this space, for joining to support this amazing man, Ken Donnell, who has just had a really unthinkable thing change his life.
Yeah. He's 68 years old. He's done a lot in his life. Toast to you. Let us know how you're feeling out there. Let us know how you're doing. If anything about that song resonated with you, we'd love to hear it. I think that there's a wonderful loosening of our grip that is being expressed in that song. That we can hold it all a bit more lightly. And I think that maybe that's something that can help Katie get through this time of loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that question, when there's, when the thoughts finally cease, when there's no one left to erase. And it makes me think of this notion of the soul and living our lives from the seat of the soul. And that's something that Gary Zukav, prior owner of the guitar, really teaches. He teaches a lot around creating authentic power. And what he means by that, and that's something that was really powerful for Oprah, and I love hearing her because I have mad respect for Oprah, and love her. And it's so cool to see how much she was shaped by Gary's work and his words. And he speaks about how we create authentic power through aligning our personality with our soul. And the personality comes through in so many ways. It's an expression of the ego. It's the part that is always seeking, always striving, is attached, is hungry for power and recognition and acknowledgement. And it's a beautiful part of who we are. And we learn all these ways. We build up these wonderful personalities over our lives, and
It's what grounds us to life.
Yeah.
Helps us learn things and
makes
do
us so much of who we are.
Yeah, write songs.
Yeah. But then the soul writes songs too.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Definitely. I feel that. But the soul is that deeper part. It's that part that remains. It's that part that is connected to everything, to love. And I think that when we think about our life in that way, and that's what a lot of stepping into this work with Wakes was for Nathan and I think bringing that notion of our soul's work to be congruent with our personalities and what we have to share in that way. So yeah, that book, Joan, is called The Seed of the Soul.
Beautiful.
It's an older book. I think it just had its 30th year anniversary.
Wow, amazing.
Oprah did the foreword for it. And there's a lot in that book around fear and love. That's been a big teaching for Nathan and I, recognizing when we're acting and living from fear or from love. And this is another quote from that book, and I love it so much. It says, "The choice that frees or imprisons us is the choice of love or fear. Love liberates, fear imprisons." And we're so glad that you're here with us, because this is a space of such love. Katie could be in total fear mode, and I'm sure he's feeling that a lot. But I know that he's leaning into love. I know through the community that he's created and the people that he's touched in his life, including us, we can lean into that love, use the power of love to support one another. And that's why we're here. We're so, so glad that you're here. So many thanks to Gary Zukov and Linda Francis, our teachers, to our friend Fab, who's here, to Katie. You know, Melissa, I don't know if he's watching. We shared with him. I think he has a lot on his plate, so we'll definitely share the recording with him. Some of you know this song. It's really fitting when we talk about this notion of fear and love. Sometimes fear feels like all that we are. The message of this song is that the fear is not you.
Take a step back. You're only seeing what you lack. Come walk with me. Take a deep breath. Let it flow into your chest. Expanding. Fill up with space. See all the fears that you face. Untangling. Spread wide. Open arms, nothing to hide. The fear is not you. Thoughts all float free. Emotions flow with ease. It's all unraveling. The fear is not you. Thoughts all float free. Emotions flow with ease. It's all unraveling. Slowly reach down into the earth. Let your roots embrace her. Grounding. Slowly open up to grace. All of this you can embrace. You're growing. Feel all around. Breeze of sky and rumbling ground. Sensing. Open up to what is. This is truth, here is bliss. Unending. The fear is not you. Thoughts all float free. Emotions flow with ease. It's all unraveling. The fear is not you. Thoughts all float free. Emotions flow with ease. It's all unraveling. Fear is not you.
The fear is not you.
Thoughts all float free.
Thoughts all float free.
Emotions flow with ease.
Emotions flow with ease.
It's all unraveling.
It's all unraveling.
The fear is not you.
The fear is not you.
Thoughts all float free. Emotions flow with ease. It's all unraveling.
So that's a lesson. We choose love over fear, even in our hardest moments. Thank you again to everyone that's donated to Katie's GoFundMe. All of the money that goes through GoFundMe goes to him, other musicians that have been influenced by him, and that use his invention, which we'll show you, the MiniFlex microphone. They started that fundraiser, and we're here in support of it. So if you haven't yet, please go click that link. Any amount is so meaningful, really, just to see the number of people donating go up. That means so much. Adrian on Facebook is our girl. Thank you so much for sharing that link again. On YouTube, you'll see that it is pinned up to the top. So I just want to share a little bit more of the story. So that first tour of being Wakes, of doing Wakes, we met Fab. Fab gives us this guitar. We happen to have on our route home this opportunity to thank Gary Zukav and his partner Linda. They welcome us in. We have this deep, beautiful, spiritual conversations, sharing music. It's really amazing. We download his book immediately and start listening to it in our ride up the coast. And so that happens. It's the next year. We plan our second tour. We're kind of going to do the same route. And we end up seeing Gary and Linda again in their beautiful home. And Fab happens to be there with his partner. So it's just this amazing reunion of worlds. More music, more affirmation, more deep questions being asked and being held by each other. And at the end of this tour, we're in Chico, California, doing a sound bath. And this little bug in my ear goes, wait, Chico, isn't that by, where is Chico? I think this is kind of near. When we looked up inside the guitar, it says Ken Donnell, 1982, for Gary Cooper.
Nevada City, California.
Nevada City, it says at that point. And we had looked all this up. We were definitely doing some sleuthing. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of were like, oh my gosh, we relook it up. We find the number for Donnells MusicLand in Greenville. And we call. Get a message, leave this kind of very random thing that says, that's like, we were gifted a handmade guitar from you. We happen to be in Chico. I don't know if there's any way that we could meet up. Not expecting anything. We get a call back, I think, within the hour. And Katie says, oh, I don't think we said where we were, but he says, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm away from home right now. I'm all the way in Chico, California. And so we probably won't be able to, he says that like expecting that. And we're like, oh my goodness, we're in Chico. So it just fast forward. And all of a sudden,
like 2 hours later.
2 hours later, we're getting a beer with Katie and we're meeting him. Yeah. And we're showing him his guitar. And it's totally out of this world.
That he hasn't seen in, 2 decades.
Yeah, he
at
hasn't.
Least. Yeah,
3 decades. Yeah.
3
and
decades.
He just completely wanted to meet us. It was so beautiful. He told us so many life stories. And we just had this beautiful encounter. And he said, hey, if you want to take an alternate route home, I'd love if you would come visit me in Greenville. And he was like, oh, we could, polish up the guitar. And anyway, so we go to Greenville eventually. We stay with Katie. He welcomes us into his music workshop. He, does all this stuff on the guitar. He gifts us this incredible mic system, which is inside the guitar that he invented, called the MiniFlex microphone. We also have it on it looks like this. Hold on.
It's like an alien. You can just pull it off there.
I'll pull it off. Oh, that's the tambura. So it looks like this. Oh, it looks like this.
It's actually a very innovative 2-mic system that sounds awesome.
To try to get, the guitar to sound more authentic. And so we have it inside there. And then he gave us this one. It's meant for a larger, like a cello or larger or bass or something.
I think it was made for a banjo, actually.
Oh, okay. So this one we use on our we have used on our hand pan drum, and now we use it on our tambura for our sound baths that we do on Insight Timer and other places. Mm-hmm. So this is just very all to say that this is the spirit with which we met Katie. Totally, like, completely fateful and fortuitous. Our second tour, the first time the guitar, Gary Zukav, and then we meet KD, the maker, the luthier. And so, yeah, there's more to say about this story. We'll continue it in the next part. Oh, I love it. Groovy story, Dario says.
Oh, yeah.
So this is another love song that Nathan wrote for me. But I think it has a bigger message, and we love to share it because I think it's perfect in this circumstance, because it's about sailing towards something, moving towards something that we maybe might not achieve, but that we believe in. Love being one of those things. Like this embodiment of a perfect love. We might fall short of that. You introduced this much better than me.
I think you're nailing it. I think it's awesome.
I also think there's a hopefulness to it too. And I think about that for Katie and anyone in Greenville or anyone that's been affected by these fires, anywhere, anyone facing this uncertainty and loss is like, how can we keep going through these choppy waves of life and striving towards that authentic power of who we are and that love that we're able to embody and share with others, even when things get really, really, really hard.
Yeah. I want to set a course for your shore, strike off towards sails billowing. The trouble is that the star that guides us both where to go and where I want to be. Though my ship is bound to the ocean's waves, I vow to look up past the clouds and sail toward you, love, up the ever shining. The waves that pound at the hull just on away. Years of build-up, grime and fouling. The journey is long, but my will is strong. I'll man these ropes till the wind stops blowing. And though my ship is bound to the ocean's waves, I vow to look up past the clouds, sail towards you, love, up the ever shining. Years at the helm make a weather face, but the wind that dries also takes me places. All this praise and a cold breeze, I like kisses from your mouth and the breath you breathe. Don't sure take on water after bail for days, squint through the clouds in the rain and haze. See you shining always bright. When the weather fades, I'll bask in your light. Though my ship is bound to the ocean's waves, I vow to look up past the clouds and sail toward you, love, up the ever shining.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that song so much. And it's really a song about faith.
Yeah.
Faith and hope. Even when things get hard, the waters are really tossing us about, maybe out of the boat. We're still in this world, in this life, and we're navigating all of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, always.
so tell us how you're doing out there. Who is with us? We've got people on Facebook. We've got people on YouTube. I love that. Yeah, Annika's saying such a way for the universe to make that happen. This story of meeting KD, this magical guitar. Thank you, Tracy. She says that was beautiful. Y'all radiate nothing but love. Thank you.
So sweet. Thank you, guys.
I do want to say, like, speaking of radiating love, like, that's definitely a quality that Katie had. He was literally giving us, I mean, we don't have the guitar strap on here, but, like, we're leaving his music shop, and he's like, "Here, you need a guitar strap. Have this leather guitar strap." And I'm actually wearing this dress because Katie also gave me this dress. He was like, "I think this would look great on you. Do you want to have this dress?"
He knew we were doing van life, so he gave us a folding bike.
He gave us a folding bike. He was like, "Sometimes you just got to get milk, and you don't want to leave your van spot." So he gave us this bike. This is the level of generosity that we experienced from him. And that's why we hope that you'll all be inspired by this story and go to Katie's GoFundMe and donate to help him rebuild after these fires. Let's just check it out. Where are we at? So his goal, or the goal that was set.
Dario says, flooding you with insight hearts. I love that.
I love that.
Got some Insight Timer love here in YouTube and on Facebook.
We are over
Adrian.
$12,000 raised for KD. He's got a $15,000 goal. So let's help him get as far as we possibly can. Thank you everyone that has donated. That's amazing. I know this community has given hundreds of dollars. Yeah.
Oh, Annika, I thought it was you.
Oh, yes.
So glad you're here. Hopefully we can keep you
awake.
Cruising.
This is a little bit different. So yeah, Nathan and I, we do a couple different styles of music. Many of you know us from our sound healing music, do immersive sound meditation. But we also love singer-songwriter, soulful, jazzy tunes. And that's the other expression of who we are. We don't have to just be one thing in this life. And so here we are, sharing some of our originals, some of our covers, some of our sound healing songs on guitar. We're so glad you're here with us. All right, let's keep going. Is this what we're gonna play?
This is it.
Oh, I hope I can get this one. This song's really low. I noticed we have to put it earlier in the set before I've talked a lot. But let's give it a go.
We wrote this about some communication dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we don't have any of those. Like,
No.
no dynamics at all. Just pure, like you guys are all saying, pure love. And, I mean, that's just... We
Yeah,
just
never
radiate
any
it
conflict.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know, to each other, to everyone. Never any problems. So this was like an exploration of some communication dynamics that we heard some friends have.
Yeah.
You know,
A thought experiment, really.
people that have those kinds of issues.
Yeah,
Not about us.
definitely not about us.
We've never had this kind of thing.
Never. What are you saying? I feel so confused. Are these games that we're playing a linguistic ruse? I really don't think so. I know you're sincere, but the words you are mouthing, well, nothing sounds clear. My baby, we're running in circles. I'm just saying something. My baby, oh, why don't you listen? I'm just saying something. My baby, I see your point, but it seems we've got this record stuck. I'm just saying. It's ping pong perspective. I swear I'm not keeping score, but I don't think you get me, so I'm gonna say more. I'm watching your eyebrows, I'm reading your stance, but your stubborn persuasion misses every glance. So instead, my baby, we're running in circles. I'm just saying something. My baby, oh, why don't you listen? I'm just saying something. My baby, I see your point, but it seems we've got this record stuck. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. With argument A plus argument B and argument C, D, E, F, G. Oh, why can't you see? Does this count as fighting? I think we agree, but maybe they're not. That's why I'm just saying. My baby, we're running in circles. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying something. My baby, oh, why don't you listen? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying something. My baby, I see your point, but it seems we've got this record stuck. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to say.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying.
I'm just saying. You. I love it.
Oh, sweet. We're getting some requests for the tree song. We're not all set up for all of our other instruments. If you've never been to one of our Sound Baths and Insight Timer, you should come. This is just a little
Taste.
kind of a taste of the stuff that we have set up here. But tonight we just have only the
We
guitar
are featuring the guitar.
Tonight
And
we're featuring the
also
guitar.
some of our other music that you maybe haven't heard before. I love it. Tracy saying, I'm just saying, I love this song.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Well, I don't know if any of you can relate to that song.
Probably not. I mean,
Probably not.
it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah,
Most
really.
of us never have those kinds of conversations.
I know. Oh my goodness. Well, let's just check in. I see Joan's still here. Lisa's still here. Rev J's still here.
Awesome.
Over on Facebook, we got Melissa and Adrian and Mark. I'm so glad that you're here. Oh, if anyone knows someone at Omega, Lenore, I hope we could hook us up. We would love to go there. It'd be so great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Adrian says, oh, never. She's never done that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's so funny because that has become such a great tool for us whenever we're caught in the I'm just saying loop. And one of us will like bust out into song, or we'll just say, oh, you're just saying. And it's kind of perfect.
Or it's like, oh, you're just saying, huh?
I feel like it's
That
really
happens
helped us.
sometimes, too.
So you can share this song with your partner and let it interject. Love it so much. Okay, so how are we feeling? Thank you everyone for donating. If you want to share either of these live streams on Facebook or YouTube, this is super laid back. We're just here as long as we're all feeling good. We wanted to raise some awareness about how we can make a difference in this one person's life. KD gave me this dress, made this guitar. I love it because it was really amazing, because when we met Gary Zukov, who had this guitar before it came to us, he wrote this song for his father that it was so long ago that he wrote it. And there were all these papers in the guitar case, some chords, and some words. And the words to this song that he wrote for his dad were in the guitar case. We didn't know the context of it, but he basically couldn't remember it. And then he just recited it to us, like spoken word. And it was so powerful. We all cried. It was so powerful. It was like I don't know, very spiritual, very, very spiritual, like truths that were really resonating for all of us. And he was like, I wish I had a recording. I thought I had a recording of this. This story's so crazy. The next day, he finds a recording, and it's on tape cassette. We all listened to the song that was the only reason he had this guitar. And then Nathan helps him figure out how to get it digitized, and it was crazy. It was amazing. So these are some of the fun, beautiful twists and turns of this story. And
Fab posted a photo of our first meeting there.
Oh, I
For
love
those of
that.
you that might be confused if you missed some of the story, this guitar was gifted to us by Fab, and it used to be Gary Zukav's, who we're talking about.
He's an author you might have heard of.
And this adventure of receiving this guitar as a generous gift led us to discovering through the name inside the guitar on the sticker, the luthier who made it, which was just amazing.
Who is the person that we're gathered here for today. Thank you so much for supporting KD and for creating this beautiful environment. I notice I'm getting more and more relaxed. Our tech problems went away. For now. We have so many friends here in a new context. Really grateful you're all here. Thank you so much.
And this was actually I'm going to play a song now that I wrote about my parents' divorce. It was really a way of processing for me. Something that that happened in my 20s, kind of came out of nowhere, and it was a really, for me, music in general, and for Ada and I both, it's a very healing, processing medium for us to just not only mentally put out in words how we're feeling, find clarity with things, but also to just soak in the feelings that are there and to find language for them in tone and frequency. And we often say that music is the language of emotion, and I think that this one really captures the sweetness of an upbringing in a loving family with loving parents that lost their way.
Tiny white teeth that we kept in a jar, count the bedside prayers that were said by nightlight to keep all the monsters at bay.
Just think if we caught all the tears cried from scraped knees, we'd fill up the tub where the kids used to play with their boats on a rainy day. So we filled all the albums and lined the bookshelves with the memories of days when we both lost ourselves in the beautiful faces, the tying of laces, building a home for our kids. We forgot ourselves. Gaining notch marks on the kitchen door frame, count the inches comprising our days, peals of laughter and begging to stay up too late. We were like them when we met, young and dreaming, stargazing to pull close to feelings we could not seem to say, but our blush quickly gave away. So we filled all the albums and lined the bookshelves with the memories of days where we both lost ourselves in the beautiful faces, the tying of laces, building a home for our kids. We forgot ourselves. And I loved you, I did. At 5 a.m. when you delivered papers, and our firstborn I'd cradle in the car.
And I loved you, I did. Day by day, as you stocked the store shelves. We were young, poor, and giving ourselves to our greatest
I
cause.
loved you, I did. Even when all was falling to pieces, and I questioned, did I really mean it?
And I loved you, I did. As I cried and hope was fading, I was tired of waiting to reignite.
So we filled all the albums and lined the bookshelves with the memories of days when we both lost ourselves in the beautiful faces, the tying of laces, building a home for our kids. We forgot ourselves. Chubby and lanky, then gorgeous they grow. Soon they're adults. How the time seems to go, each with insights of thoughts now all their own. How will they remember us now? Countless bare hugs or broken vows where we couldn't suppose. So our lesson, please keep it close. Don't forget yourself.
Thank you, guys. Well, that was the song. For those of you that missed the beginning, that was a song that we played that brought this guitar into our lives and eventually led us to meeting KD. And so, yeah, very, very special, near and dear to us. And a huge affirmation for us early on in this work when we were stepping into doing music, that we're on the right path. If you want to see, Fab posted a picture of us in the event on Facebook of all of us the first time we met. That's pretty fun. I'm excited to look at it myself. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah. Annika says, this tugs at my heartstrings as I reflect on my own divorce.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it captures so much, that sense of love still being there, but us losing ourselves along the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes losing each other. Yeah. And we're here in a spirit of love to support KD. Adrian shared again the link to the GoFundMe. We're raising money for him. I think he's about $3,000 away from the goal, which is amazing. I think it's a goal that's, a little bit arbitrary because it doesn't begin to cover what he needs after losing his home and his business, but it's a wonderful start. And I think just the energy of so many people giving makes such a difference. Mark was sharing a little bit about this Dixie Fire, and you can read about it on Facebook there, but it's really the second largest fire in state history in California. And I think it's really taken a lot of people just
By surprise.
Yeah. Even though it's not a surprise that this is happening more and more, and we need to find ways to live in peace with our planet.
Yes. Well said.
But in the meantime, as we're doing that healing work, this might be happening, and you might be meeting someone. We were sharing earlier that we evacuated from our home just about a month ago here, like a full leave now, 2 a.m. And so it's just such a small relating to what Katie is going through, but him and many others. So this is one way we can help one person. So really, really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Mark, for sharing that. Can read more about what people are going through and that whole area, from the Paradise Fire years past to now this one. It's a lot. That area is holding a lot of trauma and could really use our healing love and intention as we choose love over fear, as Gary Zukav says.
Should we do this one?
I don't know.
What are you thinking? What do you feel like?
I don't know.
What were you feeling?
I hadn't thought about it.
Hadn't thought about it? I was just thinking about hardship and about how people, we all come to these different things in our lives, whatever they might be, with our own set of questions and our own set of tools that we have to be able to meet them, and yet it's hard to know, what we can do, and we often spend our lives looking around us for the answers, and sometimes the only answers, the only place to find solace is really to turn to that wisdom within us, to trust ourselves, to hold ourselves, to hold the process, to stay with life as it comes. Sometimes it's the only thing we can do, and I think that this is, a good example. As a relationship falls apart, of course we have some agency, but there's another person involved. Just like
or
in that
the fire
song.
comes and burns down everything.
Exactly.
We can't control that, but we can resource ourselves from that place of stillness and silence, the seat of the soul, and that space of love within ourselves.
Sorry, just tuning here.
This is a new song. We've only shared it once.
It's about that process of turning inward to silence, to our own inner wisdom, to patience when we just don't know what to do with the hard stuff of life.
I don't know what happened to that joy that I once knew. But when I wake and look inside, I find something new. The weight of life, I'm trying to live right. I'm all tangled up in regrets and a stubborn pride. Someone save me from myself, I'm drowning. I think I could use some help, I'm ready. But when I cry out, all I hear is silence and my mind. It's racing here and there to find the flaw to which I'm tied. And I'm tired and I can't seem to find the light. And I'm all tangled up in these trying to be alright. Someone save me from myself, I'm drowning. all this fear and silence. And I can't keep up this fight. But as I lay defeated here, I find all the fear that felt so near's gone quiet, held inside the spaciousness of silence. So at the end of your road, when you